I'm Joy Randall, and I am a beauty entrepreneur and conversationist. I'm also the master cosmetologist at Essential Aesthetics and Laser in Charlotte, North Carolina. My background is in professional makeup artistry. For over 15 years, I've worked with celebrities, major networks, and national magazines. Makeup artistry led me to wanting to know everything I possibly could about skincare, which made me much more health conscious and finally led me to understanding the emotional connections to beauty. I've learned so much along the way, and I want to share it all with you here on Beautiful Conversations. I'm talking all things beauty with experts who are amazing at what they do. I hope you not only get to know them, but learn lots about the industry and how to achieve your beauty goals. So enjoy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend. Welcome to Beautiful Conversations. This is the premiere episode, and I am super duper excited about this series. Of course, I am Joy Randall, and I am chatting with beauty and health experts to share the reality of the industry and not just the perception that we see online. We want to help those looking to get into the beauty industry and the health industry and simply entertain some of the enthusiasts that are out there. So without further delay, I want to introduce my first guest, Miss Ashley Looper, professional makeup artist, beauty blogger. She has the Ashley Edits, where she sends out these amazing makeup tips.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That Ashley.
Yes, running your own website. I mean, you're the marketing director, you're the editor, you're the creative, the CEO, all of that. So even though I haven't, yes, and I haven't sent out content in like 2.5 weeks, but when I tell you I work on it every single day, it's just so much admin work. You know, content creation is a different beast. I think I spend 30 hours a week on it on top of working 40 hours.
Yes. We're going to go all the way into that life right there. Yeah. So, of course, I want you to tell the folks a little bit about yourself, of course. You know, let's know where you're from and like where you're currently working right now.
So I'm a Charlotte native. I have been here since I was 4. I was born in Alaska, military.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, me and my sister were born in Anchorage. And our younger brother is the only one from the South. So like, yeah, I've been in makeup from birth. I always played in my mom's makeup. Yeah, I told her she like spit me out the womb like in glitter.
I love that.
Yes, I have been in beauty for 17 years, primarily on the retail side. So even though it is makeup, it still is business. So I sell it. I mean, that's my specialty. And I currently work for Charlotte Tilbury Cosmetics. I'm in Nordstrom. So yeah, the flagship counter for the market.
So, and just to give you guys a little background, Ashley and I used to work together at Met Cosmetics. We started out, yes, counter buddies, counter beauties, yes, the freelance life, yes, the full-time life, all that good stuff. So we've known each other for quite some time.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the brown girls on deck, you know, giving the brown girl advice. Yeah.
Expensive pink, gold mine, retrospect.
The retro shades, honey. Yeah.
Yes. Like, girl, oh baby.
The oh babies. That's what I used to call them.
I was telling my mom, I was telling my mom I was hopping on a panel. I was like, yeah, you probably don't remember, but I'm hopping on with Joy. She's like, I remember Joy. She did Fantasia's makeup.
That's right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dawn. Go off.
So speaking of that kind of thing, you know, because we really do want to talk from the expert side, the reality of the business. okay?
Mm-hmm.
Breaking this stuff down. Like she said, I used to work with Fantasia some time ago. That wasn't my first gig though. So what was your first gig, girl, in the business? What was your first gig like?
So I was thinking about this a lot. My biggest accomplishment at the time was getting hired at MAC Cosmetics. I just remember being in high school and saving all my babysitting money for like, you know, blue pigment or carbon eyeshadow, you know? So when I started there, I was like, oh, y'all can't tell me nothing. I work at MAC, you know? But then like, as far as a gig, I did a fashion show for a modeling agency at the Epicenter. And I cannot remember, was it not Label? Label's in the Music Factory. Whatever that club was in the Epicenter, you know, the Epicenter is like long gone. However, I mean, the fashion show was at the club. It was very like backstage beauty, fast paced. And that's always what I admired, you know, because we didn't have YouTube in our day. So we were always looking at magazines and like E-News, like Channel 49, right?
Yeah.
And when they used to air fashion shows. So that was like my first gig where I really felt like a legit makeup artist, and I was still so young. However, my most memorable gig was when I did Morris Jenkins makeup for a commercial and for Atrium Health. So that was like a 2-day project. I worked with Mr. Jenkins. I did his makeup, and the children in the hospital, the child actors rather. And that was like my first time being by drones because they had to do drone shots, and we were on top of the hospital with the helicopter pads. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of, you were saying like we didn't have that back then. Let's just talk a little bit about how this industry has changed.
Let's go.
I got started because just like you, when I got my job at MAC, like I was excuse my language, I was okay, like
Period.
we started off there. MAC was like the highest you could go, at least here, you know. And so now it's all about YouTube. It's all about social media. You know, we have these influencers, and I just think it's really important to, I'm not dogging them at all, because like you said, it takes time to build content. Like it is a full-time thing. However, we cannot discredit these experts like ourselves who have been doing this for so long. Like we were MySpace. I mean, like that's how old.
Seriously, MySpace, 1000%. It's funny because, you know, we run in the same circles with like OG makeup artists. Most makeup artists started off at MAC. They worked at MAC full-time and they worked at the strip club part-time. I mean, how many makeup artists started out in the strip club?
Say that.
Like Sir John, Namvo, all of these people, right? We just didn't have digital content. I saved years of InStyle and Allure magazines. I still read those to this day. The younger generations, I mean, this is like breathing air to them. It's so easy and it seems very effortless. But you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and we're just the old dogs in many ways.
Let's talk a little bit about, and this sounds just crazy, but being a human being, you know, like, and working in these environments. I know for myself, dealing with, I'm still a caregiver for my dad, you know, who is in late stage diabetes, who is blind, you know. And I don't think that people understand, like we're more than beauty professionals. Like we are
right. We're therapists,
lipstick,
therapists,
you know,
relationship like, experts.
Get up there, and it's basically like a performance. You know, when you are working retail, and to have to like really, you may not be feeling well, or it may be some serious things going on in your life. I don't know what you have to kind of add to that, you know, but It was very disheartening to me sometimes for people to kind of make it so surface. It's like, I actually got real going on in my life.
Right.
I don't
care. I will say, like, you know how math was and how it is now. I was diagnosed with MS while I was a manager at Mac. This was in 2014. So I'm very open about talking about my health issues because I actually was very young when I was first sick. I was 8 years old. So this is kind of how I've always known myself to be. It came to a point where I was like overworked and underappreciated at my job. And that's why a lot of good artists decided to part ways. And luckily some of us parted sooner than others. Mm-hmm. So then I come over to Nordstrom and it's like Zootopia over here. It's like so peaceful in many ways, just because like I'm not one that needs to be managed. I mean, I've been in this job for decades. Mm-hmm. So you really don't have to come in and check on me if I'm doing something. However, you know, I've just been able to have a little more freedom. People respect that you have things going on and you can or cannot make it to work. I was just kind of like shocked at how flexible they were, because at the end of the day, it's business, it's money. And I feel like you not being present is money lost. That's kind of how we were raised, like how we were trained, right? 2 minutes late, that could have been $300. Yeah, and MAC is such a lower price point than these other brands. So honey, when I tell you, do you need a pencil sharpener? Do you need some sponges? You know, trying to tack on those last minute items. So it's just still, I laugh at the transition that I've been through and like how relaxed it is at my current job.
Again, you know, we look at social media and you see, you know, our makeup artists, to make money in the business, you kind of either have to go 2 routes and you're going to have some luck. You know, like you're gonna have
1000%. It's like a starving artist.
And I have been the starving artist. I absolutely have done that. Right now I'm in a unique situation, but retail is a way to make legitimate money in makeup artistry. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you need to sell. Like that's a part of it. This is not somebody paying you to blah boom every day.
Right.
Like, that's like good, but what did you sell?
You can paint a face for the back row, right? But if they just buy a lipstick, why go through all that? You know?
And to the clients and the customers, no shade as well. Like, we're not here just to make you. Girl, what you buying?
It's right. It's art and it's commerce. And at the end of the day, you've got to produce, right? And all I have to say to that is if you don't 1000% believe in the brand you work for in retail, then you're just not going to flourish.
Like, what's one of your biggest pet peeves at the counter?
The tea is exquisite. So customers all the time. Okay. The biggest pet peeve, because girl, you know, I had to like sift through all this Pisces to Pisces and pick the most important thing. They come in here with all of the content they've consumed on YouTube.
Yes.
Myths that they've learned from YouTube. And 90% of the time, it's BS. It does not matter. They'll be like, oh, burgundy eyeliner makes my eye look red and I don't want to look greasy. And I'm like, we need to change out these words. You know, instead of greasy, the word is oily. And, you know, people that say they're oily. So they're like, oh, I want a full coverage matte foundation. And they have like beautiful skin. It was a period where, you know, everyone had a wing liner and heavy contour and baking and, you know, who bakes like that? Who? And I tell people every single makeup trend has come from the strip club or the drag scene, period.
I was just telling Sharice.
Like the glitter lipstick kits from Pat McGrath. You know, I had glitter in every color for the strip club because the girls want glitter The girls want glitter. And Pat McGrath just made it a beautiful, you know, high fashion. And plus she's like the mother of makeup.
And Pat is selling product. I mean, when you look at Pat herself, what is she wearing? Hardly anything. And if you are a makeup artist and you, or call yourself a makeup artist and you don't know who Pat McGrath is, I need you to Google that.
Then you're not.
Immediately. Doesn't matter what, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. If you don't know who Pat McGrath is, you cannot call yourself a makeup artist.
Right. And it's the same for Charlotte Tilbury, and it's funny because they're both British, but when Pat came out with her foundation, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so comparable to Armani Luminous Silk. And I'm like, she made Luminous Silk. A lot of people don't know that. She saved the best formulation for herself. You know, Charlotte Tilbury has formulated so many products for MAC, for Tom Ford, key makeup shows, like Pat, like they have had a hand in everything. And it's so interesting to me how, well, first of all, I love that it's women that have shaped this industry. Because men don't really wear makeup, and they got the nerve to be out here making skincare lines. And, you know, even Makeup by Mario, like, he doesn't wear makeup.
And women, this is my experience, in my personal opinion, but women
and I'll agree,
will take all types of advice from men that they won't take from women. So the men who worked at the counters that we worked at, whether they could paint or not, we're just going to use that. They were always selling makeup, you know.
Always.
Women love to be complimented, you know, by a man. It doesn't matter if that man is gay, straight, family, you know.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
And there's so many customers that prefer a man to help them in beauty. How many times did you work at MAC and be like, oh, I'll wait for him? And it's just like, for no particular reason. Okay, well, if you're waiting for him, what's his name? Because y'all like know each other, right? No, you don't. You just...
Hey, girl, bye.
And at the end of the day, right, men will do makeup the way they think women want to look. And women will always do makeup the way women want to look, because we get it. I'm like, we always just want to look beautiful and very empowered. And like, men don't always translate that for us, and that's just because they're men. So I just love how Pat and Charlotte have been in this industry from day one and really are the trailblazers. And a lot of people don't even know that they've made these popular products. Armani Luminous Silk, like, who knew?
But I'm really glad that she brought that back around, because to the point of us talking about these huge artists like Pat McGrath and Charlotte Tilbury, again, to humanize and remember, like, these people have worked in the industry for I don't know how long and made all these people so amazingly beautiful, but the artists themselves, I don't know if they always get the credit that they deserve. Like, it did something for me to
they do not.
Pat McGrath on the cover of that magazine, because I'm telling you,
it's emotional.
People, when I tell people I've met this woman, like, what it meant to me, and they just kind of glaze over and it just rolls, you know, off, which is fine. But I'm like, you wear what you wear to this day because she...
Yes, because she is the one putting everyone on. Like
everything, every color you ever chose in the past, like, 20 years is because Pat McGrath put it on runway. And yeah, they were the ones just back there. I just love that it's just both of them are just women, and, you know, have influenced this industry for so long, you know. And I think they do a really great balance of influencers versus like the traditional makeup industry. If you think of like Alex Box and King Molly Magic, right? It's just like Danessa Myrick, they're giving you influencer vibes, but still principles of makeup in this industry. Like, I just think these are some of the hardest working women in this industry. And I admire them so much. But back to the customers, how we kind of like led up to this, they just get all their information from online, and it's so wrong. I'm like, maybe read a magazine or Google, you know, like
if you can DoorDash a burrito, you can Google anything you need to know about makeup. You don't even have to get it on YouTube. You can find some good gems if you just go to Google and find like an article. But I really do fight these beauty no-nos, you know, like I really fight these daily, like, oh, sunscreen makes me look gray, and dewy foundation just makes me so greasy, and they'll be dry as a bone because they don't moisturize. And you know, that's the thing with that. I fight that on a daily basis.
And I don't know if you still get this from like family members or people who don't. When you tell them you're a makeup artist, like, I should let you do my makeup.
But I didn't ask to do your makeup. Like, really, I'm honored you just volunteered my services.
I should let you give me at least, I'm not even
exploitation,
price, but yeah, what my price is. I should let you give me some money.
Yeah, and you know, when we were doing makeup, my starting rate was like $50 for a whole wedding. And they'd be like, oh, that's so much money. And I'm like, girl. So like, and especially me being so young, people would make me feel bad for my prices. And I'm like, you gotta pay. I saw this quote from Sir John on Instagram. He was like, I've been learning makeup for years and I'm always learning something new. And even though it may take me 30 hours, even though it may take me 30 minutes to do your face, you're paying me for my experience, not my time. And I was like, on period. On period. Period, poo. He's like, you're paying me for this experience and the training that I took to get to this point. I don't care if I do your makeup in 30 minutes. It's gonna look good, and that's just because that's what I've learned. So,
and all of our styles
stuck with me.
Please expecting makeup artists to do it like, then go hire them. And there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with their makeup. It's not a diss. It's just that we are artists. We are artists too. You know, we just happen to use makeup, but we have our
and when I like, if I can't do a job and I'm like looking for someone to sub for me, I like go through their Instagram to make sure our styles are similar. Like if you're coming at me with a concealer on the top and the bottom, then I'm not going to book you, you know, because I just don't do that. We're here for the realistic approach to beauty. We're enhancing your natural features, and it's just a realistic look. You know, I'm not here to take you out of your normal self and not to be a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race.
We're gonna wrap up with this last one, but people's insecurities. You know, like I tend to feel like a lot of women, and this is on the artist side and just creating better customers and client side. We can help you with products and we can help you with tips and techniques. We cannot help you. Your insecurities are your own, you know, and we all have them. Don't get me wrong. But like, yeah, you know, like I used to say, like, I can help you with these lip glosses right here. You know, like the fact that you had a terrible day, you want me to transform you, make you feel better. Like, that's not what I can help you with. I can help you.
It's not what I can help you with. And I'm not here to do the emotional laboring for you. Time is money. So let's get you in and out of here. And,
not that we don't care. I mean, you know, you're trying to be personable, but we had experience where just make sure that you're coming, you're informed, you know what you want, if nothing else, you know? Like, again, don't just come and say, I want a pink lipstick. Okay, well then there's pale pink, there's hot pink, you know, there's sheer pink. Like, what is it? Know what you want, and don't just
know what you want.
Attitude, you know, to prove something to you.
It's so crazy because I talk about customer insecurities all the time, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm in Nordstrom. I don't know, but I just get it so much at my current job, and the feedback that I've received is just like the way Charlotte does her visuals she hands down uses the prettiest people on the planet. She really does. I love looking at her pro artists that do her campaign shoots with her. But Charlotte was the makeup artist of the 90s. She did all the supermodels of the 90s. So that's where all her inspiration comes from. So of course, Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, you know, so when I get a customer coming up, they're just kind of like, oh, I don't know. I'm just like, you know, intimidated and it's just like so much. And, you know, Charlotte is extra. She really is an extra individual and she's an Aquarius. So she's really out there, but
I didn't mean to make that face.
yeah, she's one of those stable ones. She just reminds me of like an insanely brilliant human that like believes in the fourth dimension. You know, she's like a witch, but very glamorous. And she said, I believe all women are goddesses, and portions of her lipsticks go to women's charities. Like, it's just so much she does. And we get like weekly emails for Women's History Month. And, you know, she's like very plugged in. And luckily that's the benefit of working for a smaller brand right now. However, when people walk up to my counter and the insecurities that I get, you know, I'm here to hype you up in that part. I'm your hype bae with the makeup, you know. I can give you a tube of lipstick and I'll be like, yeah, like post it on the gram. You're cute, right? Bust it, right?
Yeah.
Play that song, whatever you want to do. But they're just afraid to take that leap. And I'm like, you know, makeup is not a tattoo. So at least you can say you tried it. If you're not ready, we can wipe it right off. It's like they don't even want to commit to a swatch.
And the beauty of still being able to go to a counter and try on that makeup and work with the professional who's been in the industry for 17 years versus, don't get me wrong, you know, that influencer or that makeup artist who's trying on things, but they're used to working on themselves. You know, you work with every skin tone, every skin
Such a good point.
You know, and so, yeah, we've been in the industry a long time. Like, that's what we're here for. Like you said, you're paying for that experience.
I think you joined after this email, but I'm working on uploading a backlog. But I didn't troll influencers, but I was just kind of talking about the unrealistic expectations that beauty gurus have given us. That was a whole email. And I provided makeup hacks or solutions to like a trend, like baking. I'm like, no girl, cut that out because everybody's super dry. You know, so just how to like set your makeup without looking super dry and cakey, things like that. But it's so funny, this you emailed me to collaborate with you. I'm gonna send you that email. It's in the archives, but she's gonna make another rotation. So yeah, join my email list. It's lit.
Yes, tell them how to sign up for it.
So you can go to www.theashleyedit.co, and as soon as you go to the website, there'll be a pop-up to sign up for my emails. And when you click on that, you go confirm your email, and you do get a free PDF from me on how to select foundations.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a free little download to take with you. And then, I'm generally send them out weekly. But like I said, I've been working on the marketing side of my website, so there has been a 2-week pause. But I love sending out weekly emails, and people reach out to me and be like, girl, where is it? I haven't seen it. So that makes me feel loved. They're looking out for it.
Good. It takes time. Well, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job. I have you here because you're great at what you do, and I
thank you so much. I was so happy to hear from you. This is so great, and anytime you want to kick back and chat,
I know, girl.
I'm here for it.
This little life, honey. This 40-year-old life. We try to get it in where we can.
Yes, this is such a great project, and it needs to be had.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Beautiful conversations. I will see you guys for the next chat. And until then, life happens. Gotta remember to find the beauty.
Amen.